Good morning, Neil here from the Off the Lip radio show of my series Who's Who in Santa Cruz. And again, I'm here this morning with Camille Ellis. And she is going to be speaking about something that occurs to everybody, all of us, everyone. And that is the subject of death. This fine lady right here is a coach. She is a living coach, life coach, everything coach. Does it all, and she has some advice for us this morning and some good words to say, so sit back, relax, and give it a good listen.
Hi everybody. Thank you, Neil. I am a life coach, but my specialty is grief and trauma coaching, and a lot of people don't know how to talk about death. They don't know how to think about death, and I think death is such an important part of our life, and realizing that death is actually life, right? You can't have death if you didn't have the life.
It's the end of.
Right. I always say it's the period at the end of the sentence. It's the end at the end of the story. So when you're thinking about death, so often your brain wants to take you to the grief, to the sympathy, to the loss, the devastation. But what's so interesting is that life gets kind of brushed under the rug and dismissed.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important for people to really open up about death. Like, is death okay to talk about? Can you see the whole story? Can you pick up the whole story of life and include the death at the same time?
It's not like a conversation you have with your mates,
No, but it'll come up because somebody's going to die, or they might lose a pet, right?
Yeah.
So
true.
There's always death. And what you forget is every time we choose to adopt an animal, say, or even to have a baby, we are actually agreeing to losing them. Obviously with a pet, very likely we're going to have to deal with losing the pet. But with a child, you never think you're going to lose a child.
Right.
But you have every reason to lose a child, as anybody else has who has lost a child, right?
Yeah. And you lost a child. Can we say that? Did you have experience with that?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it makes you like.
Right. So when I lost a child, I thought it was the worst thing in the world.
Right, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
You still do, I bet, right? Worst thing in the world?
No. Because society teaches that. They teach us that losing a child is the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
I think what is worse is staying miserable because of your grief. That is the worst. So you're reliving the loss over and over and over.
Okay.
And I think it's better to really honor the life. And it's okay to accept the death with love and honor, right? You're just really loving that you got to have that experience. When we get to experience a life, it's an honor. We get to learn from it. We get to choose how we want to be and be very present in the experience. So life is all about death, right?
Yeah.
It's going to end. So use the experience and make it powerful. Imagine if you were dying, right? Let's say you die. How do you want people to talk about you?
I want people to have a party.
Right. You want
right?
them to be.
I want to celebrate with that.
And do fun things like Neil was here and Neil did this.
And at the end, get to have a good party and throw my ashes out in the ocean where I serve.
Yeah, and be like, woohoo, right? Because
Yeah.
you're done. You don't need your ashes, right? Or any of that.
Done.
Right. So you want to live your life, so that's what people do. You don't want them to be stuck in misery because you died. And here's the other thing. When you're really stuck after a great loss, and you're sad and miserable, and you will be, that's all part of it.
Right.
Imagine if you had a conversation with the person in spirit. And what would they tell you? Would they tell you to be miserable? Would they want you to be sad? Chances are no. They're going to want you to be loving and wonderful and do amazing things. Go out and serve the world and help people and learn from the experience and just be better. Death is fine. We can talk about death all day long. Maybe you're religious. Maybe you believe a certain thing here or there, and that's fine too. It doesn't matter as long as you're, looking at it with love and happiness and joy and growth.
How do you get over the hurt?
How do I what?
How do you get over the hurt?
You
Just
don't.
time heals, or no, you don't get over it all?
You'll always hurt. Why would I not want to hurt?
Yeah.
Right? It's just a sad, painful experience. but it doesn't stop me from being happy, you see? I just pick up the love and the happiness with it. It's like, oh yeah, that hurt.
You just make it sound so easy, though. You just pick
Well,
up
you
the
do
love
it.
and happiness.
You-
You make it sound easy. It's not. Surely it can't be that easy. Oh,
You have to do it on purpose. You have to purposely do it
grab some
every
love and
time.
happiness, and I'll be, and everything's gonna be rosy again.
Well, I think I have a humorous mindset with my son's spirit. So if I'm sad,
And your son passed when?
2010,
Yeah,
and he was 18,
yeah.
and he died by suicide. And I accept his demise. It just is, right? But I
Yeah.
learned how to love things for what they are. So if you could love them for what they are, and just loving what is, what does that story tell you? How do you tell your story if you're loving it?
Yeah.
I tell the story of I had him. I got to experience his entire life. And he did amazing things, right? So I get to experience that and share those stories with anybody and everybody who want to listen.
Did he give you a message when he died, before he died, that any reasons why or
Oh, he was very troubled, and I knew that, but I didn't think he would actually take his life.
yeah.
When he did leave a lovely note, and that was nice. But his life is his journey, and he was struggling, and he got tired of struggling, and his reasons for ending it was because he was done. You know when you're done with something,
Uh-huh.
you're done? You know how you say things like,
Yeah, I'm
I'm
done."
done?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, I think in our family we say that a lot. I'm done. I'm out. Right?
Yeah.
So when he said, I'm done, Mom, be strong, that's all I had to do was be strong and just love him. And if I can just love him, I can be okay with losing him
Sure.
because I had him.
Right.
What if I never had him?
Yeah.
How would I be able to help people today if I never had him?
Very true. So he helped you. He helped you to help others.
Yeah, so it's kind of part of his legacy.
How do we? How do we get a hold of you to help others?
You
How do we get a hold of you to help yourself?
well, you
Oneself.
You can, like, you can overcome all these things. What if you were given a death sentence? Like you have an illness and now you're going to die. Imagine that,
Right.
right? And so you have all these things that you're going to process. They're emotions, and it's a journey. But if you need help, you can get in touch with me by calling me 831-246-1038. You can reach me at Camille Ellis Life Coach on Facebook, Camille_Ellis_Life Coach on on Instagram, as well as my website, yourcoachcamille.com. Did I say all that clearly?
Yeah, you did. Thanks, Camille.
Thank you, Neil.